Being vulnerable is hard. Revelatory, I know. But in order to make art or anything, you have to be vulnerable. And you also just sort of have to do it. But I have been scared of being vulnerable. I have so much I want to do, so many ideas, so many things I could be doing, and I don't. And I haven't. And I haven't because before I can even start, before I can even think of an idea beyond its germ, my brain says, no. That's not good enough, or that's already been done. There's no point. It's gonna be bad. Who's even gonna care? Why try? And the answer to who's even gonna care is me. I care. Like, yes, it's great when art connects with people or can give people a new perspective or change someone's mind or just give them a nice experience. And I'm not trying to say that dismissively. That is a really important reason to make art. But I don't have reach. I don't have any kind of following. I have friends, I have acquaintances, I have peers, but at the end of the day, if I'm making something, I'm making it because I want to. And I'm not even doing that. I'm prejudging myself for other people. Oh, if I do this and put it out there, people are gonna think it's cringe. People are gonna think it's stupid, or vapid, or bad, or selfish. So I stop myself. It's not like I even make a thing for the purpose of making a thing and then think better of sharing it. I just don't make it at all. I've been spending the last 2 months, yes, applying for jobs, but also spending time doing things I really enjoy with people I really love. I've been spending time in nature, and I've been reading, and I've been doing fiber art, and other than the fiber art, I haven't really done anything generative. And we're preparing for hibernation right now. This is the season to gather, so maybe right now isn't the time to be generative. Maybe it's okay that this time hasn't been generative, that it's been about gathering and restoring and rediscovering. Maybe that's okay. But moving forward, and maybe it won't be next week, and maybe it won't be next month, maybe it'll be next year. Moving forward, I know I need to just do. I just need to do things. I started a practice at the beginning of this year of picking a word or phrase as like my guiding light to sort of lead my intentions for the year. And the word I picked this year was headfirst. And I think in some ways you could argue I've been successful at that, and in others I feel like I may have come up short. But I think it was always going to be that way. There's no way to 100% commit to that, and there's going to be stumbling, and there's going to be learning, and there's going to be things that in hindsight that you realize you could have done better on. It was always going to be this way. Part of it's perfectionism holding me back, right? If it's not going to be perfect on the first try, if I'm not going to be amazing at it at the first try, then I shouldn't try at all. Bad logic, bad thinking. You can't get better if you don't work at something. Your first 10, 20, 50, 100 times at doing something are not going to be good. Or maybe they're good, but they're not going to be great. I don't think it was just one person in my life that's told me to make myself smaller. But clearly the lesson has been internalized, and I need to be more proactive in unlearning it. And I know it's not going to be easy. I'm aware of that. None of this is. It's a mental barrier, and getting over those takes more work than other things do. I think as the first step, towards just saying fuck it and going for things. I'm just gonna name everything I've been doing, everything I'm excited about, everything that I've been dipping my toe into. You know, some people say that you should announce that you're going to do something before you do it, or share with people the progress that you're in. You know, share that you got a job interview, share that you're intending on starting to learn a new hobby. So I'm just gonna put it all out there, get it off my chest, and maybe it'll be less scary to actually share those things then. Right before I moved, I started to get into cross stitch. I already knit and crochet. I started learning how to sew last year, started learning how to embroider earlier this year, and now I'm into cross stitch. Obviously, I've been reading. I've really been getting into dark academia-ish books. I know that's like an internet aesthetic subculture, but reading The Secret History and If We Were Villains, I went to the bookstore and ordered 2 more books in a similar vein. So I have Vita Nostra and Stoner now on my shelf, as it were. I've been wanting to get back into poetry translation. I just shared a translation of an Italian poem that I did last year, and I want to do more of that. I'm sort of in a rut with writing music right now, but again, I think I'm in a sort of gathering hibernation phase with that, and I'm hoping the juice will come back soon. And yes, writing music is writing its own kind of poetry, but I also have not really been writing poetry a lot recently, but I have been in a writing group that meets monthly, and I go when I can, and it's been really nice to do like arcane exercises with them. I'm trying to be more intentional about fashion and my closet. When I get back home, I really need to do a huge cull, because I'm just thinking about all of the things that have been sitting there that I'm too ashamed to get rid of, or too like climate anxious to get rid of, because I know it's a whole ordeal to sell everything, but I also don't just want to give it to like a Goodwill, because I know so much of that stuff ends up in the landfill. So I've just been hoarding it out of fear that it's gonna end up like decomposing somewhere, but then it's not getting used, so it's like that's not good either. So I just need to clean out my closet and do something about the things that I'm not using anymore. When I'm at home, I do fight choreography and fight direction. I've taken a break from that while I've been up here, but that's something that I'm really excited to get back into when I get back home. I've gotten back into flying trapeze, and I really want to keep it up. I took a 5-year break, and now I've taken like 5 classes since I've been up here, and it's been so nice. I really missed it. It's such a wonderful, cool way to use your body, and it's so exciting, and I really want to keep it up when I get back home. I've also been really trying to explore my relationship with witchcraft and being a witch, and also trying to feel comfortable just saying that without having to explain myself to people. I was about to do it just then, but getting to spend more time in nature has been good. I think this whole year has really been eye-opening for my relationship to being a witch and understanding how I understand how that works for me. I've done so much more cooking while I've been here, and I want to do more. My living situation at home makes it a little tricky, but not impossible to do that. And I just like messing around with food. Cooking is jazz, and I just like throwing things together and seeing if it works. I want to be excited about the things I'm excited about, and I am. I just think that there's been so much fear and shame and self-prejudgment that's been holding me back from being vocal and upfront about all of the things that I care about. And I think especially now is the time to be vocal about joy. Things are not getting any easier. Looking for a job is hard and scary and frustrating and soul-crushing. And that's just in my personal life. There's everything else going on. And I think among the plethora of things that I can do to do my small part to help or make things better or change things, part of that is sharing joy and showing that joy exists and it can continue to exist and that we can find it. And I know that's not the most radical action, I know that's not the most important thing that can be done, but being an artist is not the only way to help people get through. I can also just be an ordinary person sharing joy. And I hope maybe that helps, or it'll at least help me, and if I feel better, then maybe I'll have more capacity to help others. And maybe it's naive and performative to think that this is maybe some sort of action that can lead to any amount of change. Maybe it's self-centered of me to think that expressing my own joy is gonna help anyone else. Maybe that's stupid. Maybe that's really dumb. And maybe it's selfish, but I don't know. There's no lesson here. I'm not giving advice. I'm talking through thoughts. I don't know. And it's okay that I don't know. And I'm saying that to myself. It's okay that I don't know. And maybe this is just a thing that I'm doing. And it doesn't have to have any greater meaning than that. Or maybe it does. I don't know. Only one way to find out, I guess. To jumping in feet first.